Okay, again, intersection of two lines in vector form. We'll put them in parametric form, which means we'll solve for, I guess we'll call this line 1, right? And we'll call the other one line 2. We'll put parametric form for the first one, so x, or line 1 is equal to, x equals negative 82.2 plus 0.2s, okay? And y is equal to 43 plus 1.7s. So that's our line 1. Our line 2, x is equal to negative 84.4 plus 2.4t. Y is equal to 45.5 minus 0.9t. Okay. So we're going to build our first equations by setting these x's equal to each other and these y's equal to each other. Because technically, if they do intersect, they should have the same x and y coordinates. Okay, so that's the theory behind this idea. So we'll build our first equation in red. That'll be the x's. Equation 1 reads negative 82.2 plus 0.2s equals, and we'll take the other side, negative 84.4 plus 2.4t. Okay, so here's our equation 1. And we can simplify this, right? And same idea, we'll put a constants on one side and all the variables on the other. So I'll keep the variables to the left, 0.2s minus 2.4t is equal to, it'll be the difference between those two, which I think is it'll be negative 2.2. Do you want to just double check with the calculator there? Okay. While you do that, we'll do the equation number 2, which is taking the y values, setting them equal to each other. 43 plus 1.7s is equal to 45.5 minus 0.9t. Was that other constant value, right?
2.2.
Okay, good. Same idea, we'll get the variables on the one side, so 1.7s plus 0.9t is equal to 2.5? Yeah, I think so. 2.5. So there's our equation 1 and our equation 2. We'll use substitution to eliminate. Actually, sorry, not substitution, elimination. I take equation 1, and one way to make sure you get the same coefficients in front, you can just multiply one equation's coefficient by the other's coefficient. So I'm going to try to eliminate the s's in this case. In other words, I want to solve for t. So I'm going to take equation 1 and multiply it by 1.7 because that's a coefficient in front of the equation 2's s. Okay? So you're going to have to help me with your calculator here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 0.2 times 1.7 will give us what coefficient?
0.34.
Okay, 0.34s. And then 1.7 times negative 2.4.
4.08.
4.08. And then negative 2.2 times that same value.
Times 4.08.
Times, sorry, 1.7.
Oh.
Yeah.
Negative 3.74.
Great. Okay, so we've changed this so the coefficient in front of s is the same. We're going to do the same thing for equation 2, but this time we're going to multiply by its coefficient, which is 0.2. So if we've done this right, 1.7 times 0.2, you want to double check, make sure it equals 0.34s.
Yeah.
Great. Then we take 0.9 and times 0.2, which I think is going to give us 0.18.
Yes.
Okay. 18t. Sorry, I should have wrote the variables in here. That should be t. And then finally, the last one is 2.5 times 0.2.
0.5.
0.5. Excellent. Great. So because these coefficients are the same, I'm going to subtract the two equations. And whether we add or subtract, it doesn't technically matter. Just make sure you do whatever you do to all of them, you do the same. So because we're subtracting one from the other, these cancel out, so your s's are gone. So subtract these two, which is going to give us, I think, negative 4.26t. Just double check that there. And this will give us negative 4.24. Maybe double check that one too. Oh no, yeah, I think that's right. I can always double check also myself.
Yeah.
They're both right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So then the last thing to do here is to isolate for t. So we have to bring this over and divide by negative 4.26. So they're really close in value. T should be a little less than 1. What did they give us? I'll check also. 4.24 divided by 4.26. 0.995. Okay, so 0.995. Okay, so now that we have this t value, okay, we can plug it into equation 1 or equation 2, and that should help us solve for the other variable. Okay, so let's take equation 2 and plug this t value in for it. So equation 2, which was 1.7s plus 0.9 t. So we're going to plug this value in for t. So I'm going to get you to do that on your calculator. Is equal to 2.5. Okay, 4.7 is equal to
0.8955.
955. Great. Okay, is equal to 2.5. Again, this is the s. So we're going to isolate for s. 2.5 subtract that value. 1.7s. 2.5 subtract 0. What do you get there?
1.6045.
6045. Great. And then we have to divide that by 1.7. So our s value should read
0.944.
Yeah, 944. Excellent. Okay, so we have a t and an s. Okay, so now that we've done that, the goal here is we're going to take our s and our t value, and we need to plug them in to either equation 1 or in equation 2. Okay, so I can plug in a value for s and a value for t. And remember, equation 1 was my x's. So as long as the left side equals the right side, then we know that we've done the right thing and they're intersecting, and the number should be the same. And that number should represent what our x value is. Okay, so I'm going to take, I guess we'll take our equation 1, 0.2s, negative 2.4. Okay, so equation 1. 0.2s, negative 2.4t is equal to negative 2.2. Okay, that's our s value. Our t value was, I'll just scroll up a little, 995. Okay. Oops, 5. Okay, so according to this should all pan out very nicely. We should multiply this by, sorry. Let's actually take, no, this will work out, sorry. 0.2s, and our s is our new value of 0.44 minus 2.4 times our t, which is 0.995, should be equal to negative 2.2. Okay? So do you want to just double check that the left side is equal to the right side there? So 0.2 times 0.944.
Minus 0.4, 0.994. Yes, about 2.
Yeah, so around this. So okay, so that we're equals. We'll just say the left side is equal to the right side. So we know that that checked out. Left side is equal to the right side. Great. So now that we have those values, we can plug in to our original. That was just our check. We can plug into our originals here. So we plug in the s value, and that'll give us an x. Or you can plug the t value in here, and that will give you the x. And vice versa, we can do the same on the bottom. So I'll bring those values up. Let's steal them from down here. Hey, there you go. This was our t, I think. We'll find out when we go to the bottom again. That was our t, and this will be our s value. Okay, and we'll just quickly plug them in to find out what our values are. So t equals this, s equals that. I actually have them above the wrong lines, but okay. Let's do this on the calculator so we can see it here. Okay. According to this, actually, this calculator might be the better one to use. Let's take our negative 82.2 plus 0.2 times the S value, which is 0.944. And this should be our X value, negative 82.011, okay? And if we plug our T into the other, we should get the same one, and maybe we should test it. Negative 84.4 plus 2.4 times, what's our T value, 0.995. And look at our answers, and there you go. And there was a little bit of rounding because we had rounding, but the answer is the same. Our X value is roughly negative 82.012. And then we would do the same with our Y values, and they would both check out, assuming that that worked out. And that's it.